Hi, it's Constant Hein. Nice to be with you again this month. Last month we were talking about simplifying and eliminating non-essentials in your environment. And this month we're going to talk about simplifying and eliminating non-essentials in your thoughts, actions, and habits. In my opinion, that's a bit harder. So I wanted to read the quote from Hans Hofmann that I read last month. The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary can speak. And again, thinking about how do we simplify so what's really necessary can come to the forefront. And when we think about simplifying and eliminating the non-essentials in our thoughts and actions, that's a really nice way of thinking. What's important? What really needs to happen? What do I have to do to let that come to the forefront? So I have 2 points that I'd like to mention about how we can help ourselves in simplifying both our thoughts and our actions and habits. One is about time and presence, and the second is about the self-control of our mind and our thoughts. So let's talk about time and presence. And one of the things that I notice when I'm around people who are overwhelmed and stressed out and anxious and worried, almost always they're catapulted into the future. Their thoughts are about what's going to happen in the future. They're not in the present moment right now. And so it's a hot tip that one of the things that's actually going to help you simplify and be able to stay calm is to keep your attention in the present moment or as close to the present moment as you can. And one way to think about that is to be identifying what's next. What is it that I need to pay attention to? What's next? Because Lord knows I could be worrying about my Christmas shopping right now, but that's not what's next. Now, I also have a presentation I'm doing next week, but it's, early in the week. That actually isn't what's next. So for me, one of the things I often have to do is put my attention on what are the things that need to get done, and then I need to link them to time. Because if you don't link them to time, you walk around with a bucket of things that need to get done, and your thoughts are scrambling all over the place trying to identify what's the important thing. So one thing I'm just going to suggest, with all the things I know everybody has to do, link them to time so you can prioritize what's next. The second is the self-control of our mind and thoughts. This one is, I think, a little harder. Sometimes, if you're a writer or a speaker, even if you're writing emails, you might want to just add to the end of your sentence, "and my point is." Because if you add "and my point is," it has you go right to the heart and the kernel of what it is you're trying to say. You might even think, my point for speaking or writing is, start with that, and it helps you get right to the point. Very simple way of just keeping the essentials and the simplification around our words in speaking and writing. So again, another point for keeping our thoughts and our self-control of our thoughts simple is, how do I be clear and concise and simple, as opposed to creating a crisis, getting confusion happening, and getting things really complicated. So I noticed that I'm working on a project recently, and I'm preparing a training for next week, and a thought occurred to me, I wonder what this other group, what they're doing about this. I think I should go research that. And I ended up going down the surfing rabbit hole, internet surfing rabbit hole. And the next thing you know, I'm 5 sites later, and I had to think, where am I and why am I doing this? And one of the things to say is my focus for right now is actually to complete this training. So this is a valuable thing where I am, but it's not attending to the focus that I have right now. So the other piece is, if you could choose even for your day or for a project, what's your focus? And if you can identify and label each day or for each project what the focus is, then when the inevitable distractions show up, you can ask yourself again, wait a minute, is this aligned with my focus or not? So I hope that's helpful to you, and we'll meet again next month. So just again, to remind yourself, principle number 9 to stay calm is to simplify and to eliminate non-essentials. Thanks. We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.